Приветствую вас, дорогие друзья. Вы на канале Джолис и Джейк Тидок. Сам всегда я, Джейк. Мы закончили с вами прохождение Дженни Леклю. И начинаем прохождение другой игры. Tangle Tower, или Запутанная башня. Это игра... Не помню, то ли вот SVB Games, разработчики. Но смысл в том, что это тоже детектив, но point-click, то есть нажимаете там на предметы и тоже. Сейчас вы все увидите. Вообще, есть еще одна игра до нее. Называлась она Детектив Руфус. Детектив Грэмори. И там вот эта какая-то загадка. Так вот. И вот там вот как раз таки был данный персонаж, который, ну, детектив, который будет тут тоже. И только уже со своей напарницей. Ту игру я не знаю, буду я когда-нибудь проходить до конца или нет, но я вот решил пройти Tangle Tower. Вообще эта игра проходится очень быстро, но она тоже интересная. Давайте сейчас же начнем, чтобы не путаться. Новый файл. И погнали. Вот так выглядит запутанная башня. На игру не надо устанавливать никаких русификаторов, потому что есть и интерфейс якобы, и есть субтитры. И вот помощница Грэмори, вот сам Грэмори. Ну, гримуар.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you
I'm
think?
not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Вот у нас досье. Жертва Фрея Фэллоу, 19 лет. Убита во время рисования портрета Флоры Фэллоу, 58. Место башня Флоры. Флора была там, так как она позировала для портрета. Фрея Фэллоу нашли лежащей на спине. На груди у нее была одиночная колотая рана. На месте преступления не найдено никакого оружия. Но Флора, изображенная незаконченной картине Фрей, держит в руке нож. Кончик ножа покрыт красной краской. На самом деле это кровь. И мы сейчас все посмотрим. В общем, вот. Карта. И как он сказал, тут пока ничего не заполнено. Вот тут как бы мы будем путешествовать по всему вот этому месту. И есть такой вот папочка, я можно сказать, с досье, с уликами. И как бы с разными. То есть мы будем встречать персонажей. Сюда вот подозреваемые, можно если так сказать, будут. И как бы кто кем приходится, какие-то факты и вот такие вот, ну, истина. И отсюда можно прийти в настройки, то есть достижения. Тут все настроить. Вот у меня стоит и галерею. И отсюда же можно выйти. То есть тут ничего такого запутанного в меню тоже нету.
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune.
Вот этим фиолетовым не просто так, это надо запомнить на
Please
будущее.
don't do that. That's a big lake.
It's kind of purple. Looks poisonous.
I think it's just water.
Yeah, water with poison in it. What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent wooden wind chimes.
Если обычно при point and click вы нажимаете
It's a
куда-нибудь,
garden, I think. It's current.
We could walk closer to it.
Ready when you are.
то есть нажимаете и они туда сами идут, то здесь надо нажать карту и вот так перейти. Выглядит это, конечно, прикольно. Ачивки тут даются за разные вещи.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
Playing a harp.
playing a harp. Hang on a second. This isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
Да, но это надо будет
Let's
вернуться
come
попозже.
back later.
когда мы кое-что найдем
It
нужное.
must do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Да, вот какая-нибудь в доседы улика разная. Вот, статуя с арфой. Старая потертая статуя существа-амфибии, держащая большую арфу. На каждой из 4 секций колонны арфы вырезаны символы. То есть колокольчик, мелодия, посвистывание какое-нибудь пианино и чириканье птиц. Вот что надо найти. Это все звуки. Или мелодия.
It's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape. Or it used to be.
Нашли какую-то кассету. Поврежденная кассета. Кассета поврежденная из-за воды. Чернила на надписи расплылись. Надписи не разобрать. Тут можно на...
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
Вот, можно народ посмотреть.
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet. Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No. What animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, of course. A hawk bear lizard.
Надпись кое-что еще там.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
Все, теперь пошли дальше. В общем, теперь мы идем сюда, к главному входу. Ага. Тут упало. О,
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah. Tangle tour.
Twir.
почему-таки вот путанную башню не перевели. То есть вы, когда будете спрашивать про нее, все будут говорить там типа Tangle Tower, не путанная башня. Я не знаю, почему они так сделали. Может, по приколу просто. Может, им что-то надоело.
How do you know they're for birds?
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody.
Вот, мелодия. Вот специально фиолетом же даже помечено.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No. I think he'll just silently judge us.
Вот такая еще то ли из дерева, то ли из камня фигура.
Is that an envelope?
It's been opened, but the letter's still in there. Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
No, definitely.
То есть вот письмо, открытое письмо. Конверт разорван, внутри листок бумаги. Кодовая комбинация нарисована на другом листке. Запомни ее наизусть и уничтожь листок. Я не принимаю твои соображения. Я не принимаю твои соображения. Там внизу ты ничего не найдешь. Интересно. Теперь мы можем пойти либо сюда, либо сюда. Но игра нам подсказывает идти сюда. На место преступления, точнее. А это в одной из башен. Потому что вот как бы идут в две разные башни.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
То есть семьи, которые основали, по идее, эту башню.
Lord Fellow.
Looks like he was married twice.
Scandal.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names? Lord Remington.
He sounds important. Lady Remington.
I think I have one of those in my bathroom. Lord Pointer.
This goes back a couple of generations. Lady Pointer.
How do you become a lady? I want to be a lady.
Selena Stonetop.
No family line. Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
И вот от лорда и Селена появилась
Felicia
Фелиция.
Fellow.
Freya's mother.
Do you think she still lives here?
Damien Dusk.
Whoa. Is it too late to change my name to Detective Dusk?
It's Freya's father. Do you think he still lives here?
Вообще, тут некоторые только родители живут, некоторых детей, а у других нет.
Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
Точнее,
She's
жертва.
barely related to the main family at all.
Да, то есть такая отделенная какая-то ветвь, которая вообще здесь, по идее, ни на что не влияет, то есть ни на какое наследство не идут.
Flint Fellow.
A purebred fellow, if there ever was one. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here?
Emily Everstone. Do you think she still lives here? Fitz Fellow. Half Everstone.
Do you think he still lives here?
Но вообще, кажется, только вот это вот, здесь, вот это вот те лорд Ремнанта основали башню. Потому что почему-то такие и всех, кто вот здесь есть, только Фиона Фэллоу, кажется, имеет наследство над этой башней, то есть имеет ее как наследство. Если что. Вот из всех детей, то есть Фрей, там, Поппи, Пенелопы, Фица, только Фиона почему-то имеет. Ну, наверное, из-за... И вот почему вот этому из-за связи вот с Фэллоу, с вот этим... Ну, не знаю точно, как это правильно будет объяснить.
Felix Fellow. Looks like he married his way into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here? Flora Remington.
I think she's mentioned in our case file.
Да, как Флора Фэллоу.
Fiona Fellow. Dead center. She must be important.
She's half fellow and half Remington.
Do you think she still lives here?
Вот от них еще вот Ричард.
Richard Remington.
The one and only.
То есть без никого ни на ком не женился.
Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
Do you think she still lives here?
Percival Pointer. He married into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
Вот он, да, потому что...
Poppy Pointer.
She's half Remington and half Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here?
Вообще, по идее, вот между ними двумя, если это вот главная семья, которая основала башню, то между вот этими ими двумя должны делиться наследство, потому что по ветви они... у них как бы оба из чистокровных, получается, родителя женились на чистокровных из главной ветви друзей, так что они должны наследовать как бы наследство больше.
Buck Brackley.
What a name.
Do you think he still lives here?
Pandora Pointer.
All this alliteration isn't happening by accident, is it?
Do you think she still lives here?
А тогда нет. Вот и вот у них родилась
Penelope Pointer.
Пенелопа Пойнтер.
Half Pointer, half Brackley.
Do you think she still lives here?
То есть вот Пенелопа, Фиц, Фрея, они вот особо не влияют. То есть наследство как путанная башня, им кажется, отсюда не перейдет. Только, возможно, вот Поппи или Фионе. Потому что они из чистокровных идут. Да к тому же... Ну да, из чистокровных, вот если посмотреть. И друзей, семью такую вот. Ну или как правильно это объяснить, я не знаю.
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it. Anymore.
Ну да. И вот, то есть
A
Fellow.
big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
Тут же вот fellow, тут pointer.
This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very perceptive of you.
What
I
is
think it's a family
Ah.
trait.
И вот Фрей как раз таки живет с фэллоуами, потому что на их стороне, потому что Лорд Фэллоу когда-то женился на население, она родила Фелиция и женилась на другом, и вот Фрея. То есть комната Фреи находится в башне Фэроу. Ох, у меня же язык запутался. То есть вот открывается мне тут. Нам надо сюда. Открылись мне пару вот этих вот мест. То есть мастерская, комната, библиотека, птичник, другая башня, музыкальная комната. Тут вообще какой-то приход, а тут сад. То есть мы все это посмотрим, но пойдем вначале сюда. Все же по миссии. Ну, не миссия, а вот по... Как бы по досье. То есть вот место всего этого происходит, где умерла.
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing. There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
Еще одна улика. Нарисованный портрет. Фрейя не успела закончить картину, так как она умерла, пока рисовала ее. Кажется, что Флора держит в руке нож. Красная жидкость на наконечнике ножа оказалась кровью.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
То есть можно здесь остановить. И
There's something wrong with the crime scene.
автоматически тут идет
Something
почетки.
really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood, but it was removed from the scene. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Ну да, вот если вы неправильно это сделаете, тут может появиться подсказка, которая с нескольких попыток, которая как бы говорит, что, например, вот тут неправильно или правильно.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood. Almost. Maybe. Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
То есть незаконченная картина. Да, продолжим. Такое иногда будет. Теперь мы можем, конечно, свободно гулять, но давайте все же посмотрим место преступления еще дальше.
Freya's painting supplies.
Краски Фрея. Одна почему-таки с этикеткой, которая отличается от других. Как можно заметить. Небольшая стеклянные банки с краской желтой, синей, черной и белой красками. Все стеклянные банки треснули с одной стороны. Ну, Вот даже показано. Неизвестно, почему треснули пока что.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Палитра кисточка. На палитре нанесены различные краски. В центре самый большой сгусток черной краски. На кисточке все еще видна совершенно красная краска. Но это не точно, что красная краска. Вот тут...
The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle. No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again. Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
Граммофон. Место пластинок воспроизводит кассеты. Раструб граммофона направлен на центр комнаты. По всему граммофону от конца раструба прямо до кассетника проходит заметная трещина.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
Розовая кассета. Треснутая кассета. Кассета с трещиной посередине. С одной стороны сделана от руки надпись для Фрейи.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Ну да, то есть нажимать на графон и попробовать. У нас есть две кассеты. Можем включить первую и вот так перемотать. Кто-то играет на пианино.
It's piano music.
Да, то есть теперь там добавляется. Это запись игры на пианино. Музыка играет недолго, затем обрывается. И есть, значит, другой. Вот этот вот. Поначалу идет пустота. Как понятно, можно понять. Но такие звуки странные. Птица. И уже мычание.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
Давай такая немножко криповатая, если подумать. Это запись гуляющей на улице человека. Звук искажен, но слышно, как человек что-то мурлычет под нас. А вот меня немножко пугает эта мелодия. Теперь давайте поговорим с нашей, как бы, подозреваемой, одной из
Flora.
Fellow.
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
Тут встреча.
Flora,
Ну, вот это, что мы сейчас про себя
is
что-нибудь.
there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried. Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya?
Hmm.
She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
Ну, это там истина, если так можно сказать. То есть
Anything we should
можно
know?
вот так про
Any
них что-нибудь
hobbies
так
besides
сказать,
staring
спросить.
out the window? Were you close with Freya? How are you two related? Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
И можно спросить меня про все это Путная башня, досье. Пустая, ну не пустая, а вот этот с арфой, кассета, письмо.
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
Краски, кисточка,
Is this your
Gramophone.
gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
кассета. Ну, это пока что все, что мы нашли. Но
Is
это не
that
сам.
an egg?
Это
An
яйцо.
egg with bird feet.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
Конечно.
I think it's a container for something.
О, это такая вот
Those
загадка.
gems look like they come off.
Ну, вот тут показано, как надо все делать, конечно. То есть на пути. Так, длинный, короткий, желтый, фиолетовый. Так, длинный, короткий. Это вот этот. Нет, где-то. Это вот тут. Длинный, короткий, так приходит между. Или нет? Или да. Так. Красно-розовый, что ли? Зеленым. Это вот тут. То есть зеленый идет сюда. Так, розовый к розовому. Вот тут. К синему.
I got it.
I'm impressed.
Вот так решается эта
Did it
загадка.
unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg's a clue, right?
Да. Улики. Пустое яйцо. Открывая яйцо, можно будет заглянуть внутрь. Сейчас оно пустое. Подкладка в яйце сделана из мягкого, похожего на бархат материала. Яйцо состоит на медной подставке. Стоит. Внизу у него 3 странных ноги с острыми когтями. Пока что нам сюда ничего больше не надо. Теперь пойдем вот сюда. Очень интересно, что там, конечно. Вот такая немножко по-другому.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
И вот еще какой-то неизвестный человек.
Whoa, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick Grimoire.
Private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. This is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do. It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so? As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite. Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
No.
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky. 314 cases solved. 314. Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective. Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Ну да.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed too.
Ну да, как, знаете, во всех таких... Хочется, чтобы в какой-то детективной истории или в игре был всегда какая-нибудь такая тайная комната, такая, в которой что-то происходит. Да, не знаю почему, но это всегда так интригующе, такая, ждешь, что где-то будет такая тайная комната в особняке каком-нибудь или что-то такое, особенно с детективом. Ну типа, ну давай же, там должна быть тайная комната, дверь, да хоть что-нибудь. Ну это ж так, и ничего и так нету.
You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no then. Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps? Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking. Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told? A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last. You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too?
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty.
Ну все. Ну, пока что мне про нее все
that a
спросили.
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
No.
So moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands in the opposite direction. It's like cogs on a machine.
Ну да, это понятно, то есть вот. И тут надо определенно поставить время. Только дайте я сейчас пару раз нажму, чтобы вы могли услышать, что скажет Салли, потому что я...
I guess that's wrong.
Did you work out what direction each hand needs to be facing? Each one ends with a little hoop. Try looking through the hoop and ignoring the rest.
Nothing.
It's just numbers on a clock. 3 on the right, 6 on the bottom, 9 on the left, and 12 on the top. You only need 90-degree angles. That should make it easier to work out.
То есть, ну, нельзя так бок поставить. И вот, например, вот 9. Вот тут я не знаю, какая должна быть цифра. 3, понятно. Так, 12. Ну, просто вот тут иногда просто не можешь так хорошо взглянуть, чтобы понять... Вот как понять, что это 12, наверное. Ну, хотя вот так, это однерка, вот это двойка, но все равно как-то, знаете, не очень-то похоже на 12, а это на 6.
Nothing.
It's just numbers on a clock. 3 on the right, 6 on the bottom, 9 on the left, and 12 on the top.
Подожди, 3 справа. Вот тут треки. 6 снизу. 9 слева. А, вот, тройка справа. 9 слева. Понял. 6 вот тут внизу должна быть.
You only need 90-degree angles.
То есть вот тут шестерка. Вот тут там 12.
Nothing.
It's
Да, в
just numbers on a
смысле?
clock. 3 on the right, 6 on the bottom, 9 on the left. You only need 90-degree angles.
Я не понял.
Reset the puzzle?
Бросить. Да, потому что это двигал же. Да, надо было вот тут двигать. То есть вот так вот. Не вот тут. Вот так вот. Я же вот тут двигал, и двигалось вот тут 12. Конечно, там неправильно будет. Надо было стройки вот тут, двигать вот так вот. И шестерку вот тут. Теперь должна получиться.
Hey, not bad.
Просто вот сразу не поймешь, что это цифры.
What's in the box?
Я до сих пор даже не понимаю, как это
little
можно было
tool
так
thing?
увидеть.
Looks like a telescope, but I'm not actually sure what it is.
Маленькая линза. Небольшой медный инструмент с вогнутой стеклянной линзой, оснащен винтом. И так как мы нашли это около Хокшоу, у нее же и спросим.
This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
И давайте вот сходим в теплицу. И на этом закончим данный уровень вообще игры. То есть, вот, теплица так вот.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers. Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference. Is that fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no. Bags of soil.
It's so blue.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Фрукт в горшке. Фрукт в горшке с твердой, похожей на самоцвет кожурой. Почва в горшке имеет необычный синий цвет.
A little chart of, actually I have no idea what it's about. Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
Ну да, есть такое.
What do you make of it?
Кстати, не забывайте про это, потому что он один из ачивок.
Not a whole lot.
Так что вот тут первая тут таблица будет, да, как назвать, есть здесь. И я покажу в других местах, потому что за них дают ачивку, если всех заприметить.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry. Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know. you work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener. I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent. I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me. I can tell.
Ну, то есть, если ему нравится заниматься садом, он и правда может знать, ну, такой, знаете, перфекционист такой, типа, вот у вас есть любимое хобби, там, например, что-то вязать, да? Вы положили все предметы так осторожно, аккуратно в какое-нибудь место. Если, например, на пару метров сдвинуть клубок и уйти, вы приходите такой, понимаете, тут кто-то был, потому что этот клубок был тут, и я это знаю, потому что я так его положил. Но иногда есть такие люди, и мне кажется, что Фитц один из таких. То есть ему нравится и садоводство, и он какой-то такой, ну, не с памятью, которая все запоминает, а скорее с такой интуицией, которая подсказывает, что, возможно, кто-то здесь был. Если это правильно назвать так.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself. sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them.
Ну да.
Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
Да, вообще многие будут говорят, что Фрея, она была доброй.
Have you met this
То есть
guy?
без
Fitz?
конфликтов
Shifty
каких-либо.
eyes. Doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Ну да.
Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
Ну да, есть такое.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation.
Ну,
Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. How odd.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
ну да.
There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly. That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure. That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Да, вот почему-таки...
It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it, but it was empty.
Fun story.
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her. This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem-stony.
Sometimes. You never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny and edible fruit?
You look at it.
Ну да.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting.
Если спросить сейчас, мы отправляемся сразу в его комнату. Но это можно делать позже. Вначале я бы... Давайте сюда пойдем. Перед всем этим я бы хотел бы вначале посетить вот эти вот комнаты. Поговорить с их обитателями, чтобы открылись другие уже. И уже посмотрим, если... Может по времени, может нет. Чтобы интересно было. Но здесь я с вами закончу, дорогие друзья. Надеюсь, данное видео вам понравилось. Прошу вас поддержать мой канал на ютубе, на Яндекс.Дзене. Подпиской, лайком, комментарием, ютуб колокольчиком, Яндекс.Дзен просмотрами. Желаю вам всего хорошего. Желаю всем наилучшего. Не болейте. Всем удачи и пока.